yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9 to 5s, but we are still married to the games. 077. How you guys doing out there? Thank you so much for being here. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. We are happy to be back with you guys this week. It has been a whirlwind. If I nod off and just start snoring out of no place, I apologize in advance. I'm finally back home. Tim Router.
Gabe Patillo.
How was your week?
Well, first off, let me say welcome home, man. We missed you terribly.
Oh, thank you.
Missed you terribly. I hope you had a good tour out on the left coast and everything went well. Got reunited with your family, so that's always good.
Oh, yeah.
But we missed you terribly, and we're glad you're back so you can start playing some games again.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's see. There's a lot going down in the Router family right now. We're very blessed because we're preparing for another trip. My parents have put together this another Disney cruise, which is coming up March 16th. So we'll be gone for that week. And that's actually the cruise that Disney discounted because of the previous one that we were on in the middle of Hurricane Sandy. They gave
That's right.
They gave him like a 25 or 30% discount on the cruise. So my mom, of course, was like, "I'll take it." So so she put it all together. So the whole family's going. So it'll be fun just to get together with Dan and the kids and my parents, and Piper loves hanging out with her nieces and nephew anyway. So we're doing a 3-day cruise, and then we'll be in actual Disney World in Orlando for the rest of the week. So we're preparing for that. But couple other things. I still have spots. It's actually gotten bigger. The spots are bigger, and I'm going to see a dermatologist today.
No way.
It is still. I think it's still classified, but I will find out today. It's still classified as called guttate psoriasis, so it is some sort of psoriasis. But I'm just kind of,
or it could be an alien,
or it could be some sort of alien outbreak. I don't know. We'll find out if I start glowing in the next week. Let me know. But
then you really will be Tiger Claw. It's like you're getting your superhero powers. I mean, a Spider-Man moment.
I would love to have some sort of superpowers, but spots is not one of them.
No, and that's what sucks about getting your superpower through being sick. You're like, I glow in the dark, but I'm tired all the time.
No, I can't fall asleep. But in the meantime, my wife is reading tons of books at night. Anyway, so I go see a dermatologist today. It's starting to bother me a little bit because I think this is going to sound gross, but it's kind of drying out a little bit. So it's just, I'm hideous, dude. It's just disgusting.
Oh, God.
I feel like an 80-year-old man with leprosy or something. It's just the weirdest thing. We're going on Friday. It will be 3 weeks that I've had these spots now.
Oh, man. Router.
So like last week, I went to my primary care physician, and he said, let's put you on a steroid for the next 6 days. And that seemed to help. The spots never went away, but it didn't aggravate anything. And now that I'm off the steroid, I'm not even like putting lotion or anything on it. It like feels like 1,000 little fire ants are like hitting you. So like Lauren put some on my back last night, and I'm like, I gotta take a shower and get this off because it's killing me. The shower actually felt better than the actual healing moisturizing cream that I was supposed to use. So it's just so weird. So I've got that going on, and then my sweet little girl is getting tubes on Monday.
No, what's that mean?
This is actually a very good thing. This past Monday, we went to see an ENT person down at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, which, by the way, is like freaking Disney World. Like that place, that is an amazing, it's like one of the leading children's hospitals apart from Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and all this other stuff. I mean, Vanderbilt does amazing stuff for kids, but you walk in there and there's like all this, like, there's like these statues. It's like a mall / Disney World. It's pretty amazing. But our pediatrician had recommended this, an ENT doctor. So we went and saw, and Piper did some listening tests, and she can hear fine, which is great. And so he's like, look, getting tubes is not a big deal. It's not how it used to be anymore. And he's like, I think because she's had so many ear infections, this is the perfect thing to do. So here's what the tubes are. Like when I think tubes, I think they're like going to go in there, like inflate some tube in her ear canal, and then she's going to have them stuck in there for like a week or two. So the nurse comes back after the consultation. The nurse comes back and she brings us a sample of what the tubes look like. They look like tiny beads, like the size of like a pinhead, the size of a pen tip almost. And that's all it is. The procedure is 15 minutes tops. So,
oh, wow.
So all they do is they give her like gas like you would at the dentist, and that'll just put her to sleep. And then he basically said, I do this all the time. It's like 5 minutes ear to ear and we're done. She will be maybe a little groggy that day. Next day she can go do whatever. I can give her a bath that night. She can she can go in the pool. She just can't go in like lake water or river water or anything like that. But basically the procedure, what happens is instead of the ear canals draining any fluids in the ear back, it drains it out of the ears. So that's the only thing that we look for. So if she gets sick again, she's not going to have an ear infection. She'll just have fluids coming out of her ear, and we just wipe it off and clean it up, and we're good. So
nice.
It was really cool. Like he really put my mind at ease because Lauren and I were kind of dreading it. And he's like, this is a quality of life thing. I think she's going to get less sick and she won't have as many ear infections. And that leads to her getting used to antibiotics, which is not necessarily a good thing because if she's sick for something else, you want those antibiotics to work. And if she's getting used to these antibiotics with all these ear infections, it's not going to help. So she goes in Monday. How
long does she have them for?
They actually fall out on their own.
What?
Yeah, man, technology is amazing. So he said that they're put in, and then as she grows, the ear canals and everything grow with it, and as well as the eardrum and what have you, and it just pops out, and by then she's fine. And he said ear infections are common in infants and kids up to 2 to 3 because after 3 years old, their ear canals start to develop more and more, and he said you don't really hear of 4 or 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds getting ear infections anymore because the ears have continued to grow, the ear canals continue to grow, and the process basically takes care of itself. It's an amazing thing. So tubes basically help that process for kids who have smaller ear canals that aren't properly draining right. So it was completely fascinating. I was like, this is amazing.
And this has been an MTTG medical moment.
There you go.
Tim Router.
So ding, ding.
Yep. So there you have it. So my little girl's getting tubes. So I know like she still has to go under. So there's still a little recovery. So
really?
You kind of feel bad for her. Yeah. They basically just gas her for a little bit. And then 15 minutes later, she's done. So it'll be interesting. I'll definitely tell you all about it next week and see how the process goes. I love this kind of stuff. Like when Lauren got her LASIK surgery, I watched the whole procedure. This stuff is so fascinating.
I could see her like getting the surgery done, and you're just like sitting there with your hands on your chin, like
exactly.
Just watching.
Now, what are you doing there, doctor?
You're like, can you do something about my Goulet psoriasis?
Yeah. Hey, doc, can you look at these spots here?
Yeah, exactly. Goulet.
Am I a leopard? Am I a cheetah? What's going on? Am I morphing into something? Anyway, anywho. So, on the gaming front, let's talk gaming front. Dragon Age 2. Don't like it. After 3 hours in, I'm done. So I'm actually giving away my copy of Dragon Age 2. Somebody email me at mailbag@marriedtothegames.com with your address, and I will send it to you.
Well, hang on. So you're probably going to get a few emails. So what would they need to email you?
Just say, hey, I want Dragon Age 2. Hey, router, I want Dragon Age 2. Here's my email address, and then I'll pick somebody.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
I was like, I think Skyrim has spoiled me because I can't do it. Like just the fact that you still have in the conversation pieces you have different options, but he doesn't talk. I don't like the combat at all, and I just was like, not my thing. So
I think it's time for you to play Witcher then.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm like I said last week. I'm kind of getting this fantasy kick, so I'm going to try Witcher. And I looked up some information about connecting the PS3 controller using a little utility. So I'm going to put all that together and see if I can do that using my MacBook. So I think that's what I'm going to do. However, I went ahead and downloaded The Last of Us DLC, Left Behind.
Oh, good.
It is fantastic.
There we go.
So, no spoilers, but I'll just give you the setup. When Joel gets injured and Ellie has to take care of him, that's where that DLC starts. So it's that in between. It's in between the winter.
Okay.
When Joel gets injured in the winter season, it's right in there, and you play Ellie, and it is such a good story. There's not a ton of action. There's a lot more just story-driven stuff. But man, Naughty Dog knows how to tell a story, a very emotional, compelling story. There's flashbacks, and then there's also like Ellie in modern day during that time period, and what she has to do to try and get medical supplies for Joel and that kind of stuff. It is awesome. It is a great piece of DLC. It took me, I want to say 2 to 3 hours, maybe. And
okay. So it's not super long.
No, it's not super long, but it's just so good. And then I also downloaded The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2, The House Divided.
Oh, that's right.
And played that. That took me, I think, an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I am so jealous.
And man, it was good. It was really good. There's a lot that kind of, it just leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, I got to go download that too. Don't you have to open up the game to download episode 2?
I did, but I think you can also go on PSN and just download it from there.
Yeah,
because it downloads an individual piece, and then you go over to your games section and then click the icon, and then it will add it to the actual game application.
I think I've always downloaded it from the game. That was the thing, is last night I was like, I'll just download it while I'm playing Mass Effect, and I couldn't find it on the store. So,
really?
Yeah, I just kind of goofed
But you have
up,
a season pass, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And I got mine thanks to you, Mr. Hall. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, did that. And I also, so now, just in the interim right now, I am playing Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. And it's really good. It's very
interesting, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm super early in it, but yeah, I'm trying to play just a bunch of stuff. There's all these little things that are out there that have been so good. And I'm like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. And since I've been playing games from like 2009, 2010, I figured I'd up my modernism a little bit and get to some more current games.
Router's like, yeah, I'm working on getting to the kill screen of Pac-Man, and
yeah, I'm like a little old school, so I figured I'd forget it. But yeah, unfortunately, Dragon Age 2 did not do it for me. So feel free to hit me up. I've gone on for way too long. So Hall, please, my man,
you've got a lot to talk about.
Save me from rambling and continue.
I was hoping you would have a lot to talk about. No, I mean, I played Mass Effect.
Yes.
Watched the Pokemon stream some more, which I'll give you a little update on the Twitch Plays Pokemon thing. They beat the game.
Sweet.
I can't believe that.
That is amazing.
And I guess this is something that's going to be ongoing, because
it's a great idea.
Right after they beat the game, they were like, new adventure starts in 24 hours.
Oh, so, that's incredible.
Pretty neat. It took them 16 days to beat the game. Something like that.
Wow.
So,
and are people just on there all the time, like just continually?
Well, let me give you a few stats. The total time that they played, 16 days, 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
At its peak, it had 121,000 players.
Wow.
What?
At once. Yeah.
On Twitch.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Commands issued more than 122 million. Total views more than 36 million.
Good for them. That's awesome.
I guess this is a stat. Basically, people that watch it never participated, 9 million. Total minutes watched more than 1 billion.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
So wait, was it just somebody would comment, would put in the comment section the command, and then
it's in the chat section.
Was it a first come first served basis, or were they strategic?
Kind of like they have this kind of like anarchy democracy system that I talked about a little bit last week, and I'm still not exactly sure how it works, but I think that they implemented that system to make the game like actually easier to finish.
Gotcha.
So like if enough people just want it to be chaos, it'll be chaos, but if enough people actually want it to like make sense, then I guess it makes sense. I am not completely sure. I am the worst person to give advice on this. I did go watch it, and I mean, it was just crazy to watch. And I don't know why it's not Nintendo Presents Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Yeah, it should have been.
They need to get involved with this thing because people love it for some reason. That is free
publicity right there.
Yeah, like people love it for some reason, so they need to get on this.
Twitch plays Mario Kart 8. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, that's
funny.
That's just hilarious.
So you love an ME3?
Yeah, definitely.
So good.
Which,
oh my God.
And I've pushed it so much further, and it's really cool too. I went to the Citadel and just hung out there for, like an hour and a half, just going around and doing all the mission stuff that I hadn't done.
Yep.
So finding the hacks and all that different stuff that they have you do. And
the Codex.
Yeah. And I actually have another news story that kind of goes with that. Did you guys hear about the rumored Mass Effect trilogy coming to next-gen consoles?
Yes. I
heard something about that. Yeah, what was that? I didn't.
Somebody who was following the development team had tweeted about, what do you guys think about doing the trilogy as a remaster for PS4 and Xbox One? And somebody from the development team said, we've discussed that internally. If we can put some plans together, we'll share it. So
wow. I'd almost want them to work on Mass Effect 4 first.
Yeah, but it might be, if you think about it, it might be an easy port if they just port the PC version.
That's true.
Because, like, my one complaint about playing Mass Effect 3 is that, like, playing it on PS3, the frame rate constantly just messes around and
it's jumpy
slows down. And yeah, it's just, it takes you out of the experience a little bit. And you can tell that there's, like, some frames missing. Like, sometimes, like, explosions will happen, and I'll see nothing happen on screen. Like, it's like something got messed up or something.
Weird.
So, it's just, it is the subpar version of the game. I mean, even if you're playing, you're playing the Xbox 360 or the PS3 version, because I have played both. They're just so much detached from the PC version. The PC version looks great, and it doesn't really have those problems. So,
interesting.
Anyway, I look forward to that for when I do get a next-gen console. So
there you go.
But other than that, not a whole lot going on. A lot of work right now. We had some students visit us from a new school here in town. So I don't know. I mean, I guess people are familiar with this studio, but in town we've got a studio called Blackbird.
Oh yeah,
and that's owned by the McBrides, Martina McBride and her husband.
Oh, cool.
And so I went to go lecture at that school during this past week. And
Professor Hall in the house. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've mentioned it. I think I've mentioned it before. A lot of the local colleges have had me come lecture about.
Did you wear a suit?
Yeah. No, actually, I dress as casual as possible because I want the students to know, like, hey, this is the fun.
He's trying to be relatable.
Yeah, I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
This is the fun business. I mean,
he's got a Hot Topic shirt on.
The music business is the one everybody wants to be in because you can be so casual. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Gabe knows what I'm talking about.
You came in rocking with a mohawk then, didn't you?
Yeah, I wish. Mohawk with a receding hairline.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
He's like trying to be really, really like youth friendly. He's like got overalls on with just one of the things attached, the other one's hanging. It's like, you've got too far back.
Yeah.
Too far back.
Too far back. That's great.
Oh, there's so many images I have in my head.
I know, me too. Like my head's
dressing urban, his pants are like half sagged, and underwear showing.
My head's about to explode right now with all the images. It's so awesome.
He's like, oh yeah, so I'm here to talk about consoles.
Hey, I'm not a member of Crisscross, man.
He's like, hey, YOLO.
YOLO.
We'll make it jump. The Daddy Mac will make it jump.
Too far back.
Too far back.
Oh my God.
So anyway, yes. I think a lot of people outside of Nashville know about this studio because when I went to go lecture to the students, I'm like, how many of I talked a lot about the Nashville music industry, and I was like, how many of you are from Nashville and plan to stay in Nashville, and like 2 people raised their hand.
Of course.
Like, well,
Right.
That's about
just
it.
wasted all your time. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
That's great, man.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
I love talking to these kind of students, and honestly, that school, since it's a studio and since it's so hands-on, like those are the savviest students I've ever met.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
it's
And I
pretty
bet-
cool.
And I bet a lot of them are just kind of self-taught before getting into the program anyway. Like, I
Yeah,
guess-
you kind of have to.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to just have an ear for it anyway.
You do. It's kind of like, well, it's kind of like becoming an artist. You know, you kind of have to have an affinity for drawing or being
Right.
able to kind of put those things together graphically.
Right.
So with music or recording bands or doing audio work, you kind of just have to have, you know,
Gotta have an
a
ear.
seasoned ear,
Yeah.
if you will.
That's
So,
awesome.
Router, let's sneak into one of his classes.
Oh my
next
God.
time.
Can we? I would
Please.
love that.
We'll just heckle him from the back.
Actually,
Like,
every
"Boo!
one of these
You suck. You don't know
lectures I've
anything about
done,
this."
every one of these lectures I've done has been recorded, so they're probably on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, yes, now.
Oh, it's on. It is-
Somebody's getting auto-tuned.
Somebody's totally getting auto-tuned.
The thing about the music business.
Yeah, the thing about these consoles. Should I eat?
That is awesome.
Yeah, that was the highlight of my week. So,
Good, man. Very cool.
That's funny.
but that's all I got to say. Gabe,
Yeah?
Mr. Patillo,
What's up?
talk to us.
you're on
brother,
the
man.
front lines of the music business,
We
baby.
missed you, man. I'm glad you're back.
I know. I'm glad I'm back too. This is my first day back since the 10th of February.
Wow.
The morning of the 10th of February, I left home and I'm back. What's today? March something. And so I'm just happy to be home, happy to be in my own bed, happy to be in my own shower, just kind of your own space, you know, when you're in someone else's space. Cause, you know, I stayed at my grandparents for the last couple of days and, you know, been on tour before that. And so, oh man, it's just good to be home.
Even though it's nice to see family, yeah, you just want to be at your own home.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, even though my grandparents, because I lived there a while I was a kid, really does pseudo feel like home too, but it just doesn't have any of my stuff. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. Except for
and
pile
so,
of wings, apparently.
Exactly, which I brought home with me.
Oh, that's so
Nice.
great, man. That's a nice little find.
Yeah, I was like, oh snap, I left this here. This is great. I'm taking it with me. Is this stealing? This isn't stealing, right?
I like Ed's comment, Pilo Twings.
Pilo twins.
Yeah, he's-
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was funny. And so it was a good time. Amara did amazing traveling.
Oh yeah.
So no crying for her on the plane at all.
That girl
And,
is so good, man.
Yeah.
She
so,
is. She's like freakishly good. It's pretty amazing.
I know.
mine
And
is-
Jenny's wanting to have another one. I'm like, why ruin what we got, baby? Why ruin what we got?
I know. Like
no.
mine is flopping on the floor, going wah, and she's just like, "It's okay, Piper." And I'm like, "Can I just steal you? Is that possible?"
Man, so Jenny and Amara flew from Nashville to Phoenix and stayed a couple days, Phoenix to San Jose to come see me the last day of the tour. And then we drove from San Jose to San Francisco and then stayed in San Francisco for a couple days and then flew home yesterday. And man, I was so impressed at 2.5. I was like, man, thank you, God.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that was fun.
Thank God said, don't have another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause It's going to be
exactly.
crazy.
God's like, I only had one. So yeah, man, it was just good to be home. Good to see my PS4, which I will be playing today. It's funny, I still haven't played any games because we've been so busy, and then obviously I was in San Francisco and didn't have anything with me. But I downloaded a lot of games because there were so many good sales that went on. So I bought obviously I already have the season pass for Wolf Among Us. I bought the season pass for Walking Dead season 2 because it went on sale for like $10.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So I couldn't pass that up. And I feel like I downloaded some other stuff. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But so I'm home March and April pretty much. I think I have one show at the end of the month, and like maybe 2 shows in April or something like that.
Oh, that's awesome. So is the tour like officially done then? That was the end
Yeah.
of it? Oh, okay,
tour's
great.
over. Yeah. And
Awesome.
then we don't start up another tour until May, which will be Toby Mac, Skillet, and Lecrae, which will be freaking awesome.
Dude, Lecrae is amazing.
He's a beast. Anyway, so I'm excited to do that. And then, yeah, that's all that's been going on. Oh, I met Biff.
I know. I saw that picture.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
He looks better than he did.
Yeah, he looks incredible.
I know. He looked awesome. Like, you know, you see like Hollywood people age over time, and sometimes you meet him and it's very unflattering. You're like, oh, hi. Yeah, you used to be Biff. But this guy, man, he definitely is. I remember somebody made the comment on Twitter. It's like, man, he's not even old Biff yet.
I know.
And and so it was really cool to meet him. His name's Tom Wilson, I think. And he was just the nicest freaking guy. Oh man, he was so nice.
So he didn't say, "Hey, butthead."
Yeah, no, he was like, awesome job on stage. I mean, he came and jumped around with him on stage. And you know what's funny is that we used to play, because we're 80s babies, some of us that are with Toby Mac, we used to play at the end of the show, like when we end our show, you know, bah, trash can, diggity-goom. Our front of house guy would start playing Power of Love. Don't need money, don't need fame, which was obviously a huge Back to the Future song.
Yep.
And so, which we haven't been playing it for the last couple of years, but because he was there, in honor of him, we played it.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
And he was cracking up. He was like, I can't believe they're playing this. So, he was a nice guy, really nice. So back home, about to get my gaming on, and I'm just excited to be here. And
what are you playing on your PS4?
I'm still in Assassin's Creed land.
Oh, that's right.
I never beat 4, so I have to dive back in, but I'll probably get distracted because I never got around to playing episode 2 of Wolf Among Us, and I never got around to playing episode 1, and now with 2 coming out, having come out of The Walking Dead, I haven't played those either. So
you got a lot of stuff to play, but it sounds like you got a little bit of time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great, man. Well, it's good to have you home.
Things are beautiful, beautiful. I was gonna say one more thing, but I forgot what it was.
So is Jenny like, welcome home, take the trash out, do the dishes, clean up the house?
The honey-do list is so long by now.
Yeah, your honey-do list is probably a mile long right now.
I do have quite the honey-do list, but I went ahead and put the clamp on it yesterday. We were driving home, and she goes, so what does your next couple days look like? And I said, chilling. And she was like, so should I not talk to you about any house stuff? I said, write it down and talk to me about it on Monday.
You know what? Leave it with my secretary. I'll get to it when I get to it.
That's right.
My people will get with your people, and we'll try to do lunch or something. So the only thing I have in the future that I know I have planned is a date night. My wife deserves it like a beast. She's been holding it down with a 2-year-old by herself for the last 3 weeks. So, taking her out one of these nights, and she's got a massage that she's going to go get and everything like that. Good. So it's great. Gravy, baby.
That's awesome.
All right.
And on the day that you want to play Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, just get her a spa day.
Exactly.
That's right.
Why don't you go get your nails did, your hair did?
Hair did.
I'm going to get these games did.
I'm going to get these games did. Tim Router.
Oh, let's do this.
Do what you do, baby.
New releases for this week, March 2nd through the 8th. We got South Park, The Stick of Truth coming out, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like I've been hearing about that game for like 3 years.
We have been hearing about that game for 3 years. For PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. And of course, as I've said, The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2, A House Divided for the PS3, 360, and PC.
And it was good, right?
Oh, it was I meant to tell you, when I played The Wolf Among Us Episode 2, when Toad's son was talking, Krista was watching me play the Episode 2, and she was like, hey, that's the voice of Clementine.
Really?
Yeah, so Toad's son is Clementine.
It is for sure? You checked it?
Oh, dude, sounds just like her.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. It's all in the family.
Mm-hmm. Even in the family. Man, can I tell you, it took everything in me not to hit Gavin Hammond when I was in San Francisco.
Oh, you didn't? You should have.
No, what am I going to say? Hey, Gavin, want to hang out with me and my 2-year-old?
No.
Nope.
Exactly.
I'm just
so I could be rejected.
You should have just hit him up at least.
Yeah.
I know. If I would have been by myself, I might have hit him up like, hey, can I take you to lunch or something like that? Maybe I'll do it next time.
In-N-Out Burger.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can never go wrong.
Nope.
Yeah.
A couple other games for the PS4. Awesome Knots Assemble. That's available. Also Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition for the PS4.
Which is free.
For PS Plus members, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then let's see what else we have. We have Start Your Engines, Boys. NASCAR 14 is out for the PS.
Oh, yeah.
For the PS3 and 360.
Can I play as Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
You can play whatever you want, man.
Okay.
And then finally, we have Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures for 360, PS3, Wii U, 3DS, and PC.
Well, that's my pick.
There you go. Yep.
I like it.
I did hear South Park is really good, though.
I heard it's better than the other one. I haven't heard that it's really good, but I've heard it's better than the other South Park.
There you go. So if you're into it, by all means, have at it. Let's move on. Top selling games, shall we? For the week ending February 22nd. Now, disclaimer: these charts are they're based on brick and mortar stores, not necessarily online downloads. Just
no digital,
and they're always a week behind. So just bear with us. But it's always we do this because it's always fun just to see what people are buying out in stores, and so. That's why we do this every week, in case anybody was wondering. Number 10, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy for the 3DS.
Man, golly, I got to get a 3DS.
Number 9, Call of Duty Ghosts for the PS4.
Lord have mercy.
Number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS3. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the 360. Number 6, Call of Duty Ghosts for the Xbox 360. Number 5, the Lego Movie video game. 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now in the top 10 for the PS3. Number 4, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 for the PS3.
Oh.
Number 3, Minecraft. For the
Number
360.
3?
Bumped up from like 8 to 3.
Lord have mercy, Minecraft.
It is not going away.
Those
Number 2,
jokers are making so much money. Oh my gosh.
It is so stupid how much money they're making right now.
Oh, Lord.
Number 2, Lego Movie video game for the 360. And the number 1 game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U.
That's
what
I'm talking about.
I may have to go pick that one up.
Wii U, boom.
If you have a Wii U, man, that is a game to buy for sure.
I'm getting that crap for sure.
Yeah, we got to get that.
Wow.
Got to get that. So there you have it. There's new releases and your top selling games.
Jeez Louise. So Lightning Returns for the Xbox 360 fell all the way off the chart, period.
Yep. But the PS3's going strong at number 4.
Interesting.
And that was true with the last couple of Final Fantasy releases, I believe.
More popular on Sony.
Well, the PS3 version just sold more. And it's got to be because Japan is buying it too, right? These charts are worldwide, right?
No, I do U.S. only.
Oh, you do U.S. only? Well,
yep.
Huh, that's curious.
There you go.
There you go. Nice.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to include that in the disclaimer. U.S. only charts. It's interesting. Grand Theft Auto 5, 23 weeks on the chart. And for the 360, 7.2 million units sold.
Ooh-wee.
For the PS3, 23 weeks on the charts, 5.2 million units sold. That game is a beast, man.
I can't believe they're still selling in stores even.
It's a beast.
Because there's got to be a grip of used ones flying around too.
Oh, I'm sure.
And people are still buying it brand new.
This has got to still be like brand new. People are still buying it. They're doing an average of like 25,000 units a week. So that's insane.
Man, just wait till it hits the greatest hits collection. Like when they make it $29.99, then you'll see another spike.
Forget it.
Hall, give us something.
Well, I already gave you a couple of my news stories, but I do have a lot here. Probably the biggest news of this past week was that Uncharted's writer and creative director, Amy Hennig, has left the company.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Is that a bad sign?
Well, here's the thing.
Did you like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, did you like 1, 2, and 3? So I was going to say she pinned all of them. So.
Okay, that's what I didn't know, if she had pinned all of them or not.
The thing about the Uncharted games is that the writing always felt smart. Like, it was like you would be listening to character dialogue and you'd be like, well, where is this going? And then it kind of take a smart twist. So, and I always enjoyed kind of the little bit of humor that's laced in there.
It was the exact opposite of Twilight's dialogue.
Well, it's kind of like a summer blockbuster. Like, they always put a few of those moments in there that are just kind of like, hey, wink, wink. This is funny.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, I really enjoyed those games. I don't know what this means for Uncharted 4. Apparently, the writers of The Last of Us are going to be taken off with Uncharted 4. Huh. It was understood that she was supposed to be doing that. So
that's what I read.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's out skis.
Well, I just remember seeing an interview with her, like, after playing 2, like, I looked up all the information about 2 and seeing an interview with her talking about writing the story. And I thought that at that time, Uncharted 2 had like the best game story I'd ever played. So it was really cool. The best writing anyway. So,
well, at least it sucks that she's gone, but hopefully, and usually with talent that good and with a name that popular, she'll land somewhere awesome and be able to continue to be great.
Oh, she definitely will.
She's not going to be hurting, that's for sure.
No, the rumor is that she was forced out.
Yeah, I saw that.
By the Last of Us guys. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, because basically the way it was working, it seemed to be working, was that Amy was working on certain projects, and then the guys who went off and did The Last of Us, that's kind of when it became kind of a 2-team effort, I think. So, like, you know, Amy was working on Uncharted 3, and then Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley were working on The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're kind of, with this next gen, since it's going to require more resources, I wonder if they're kind of moving back into a 1-game team, so they're not kind of splitting things off.
But are they independent contractors technically?
I don't think so. I think she was a staffer.
Okay, so she was a staffer, but the other guys weren't with Naughty Dog, were they?
No, they are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, and she'd been with the company, I think, for like 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, it had to have been a while.
Yeah, she'd been there for a long time. So she was there for, like Gabe had mentioned, you know, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, which she did pin the scripts for.
Wow.
So
that sucks.
It really does, because she's, like I said, Uncharted 2 gets held up as like an example of one of the greatest games ever made. Like, it's not, you know, it's not in the top 3, but it's way up there.
Yeah,
so.
For sure.
And I think The Last of Us is just as compelling too.
Oh, definitely.
It's just such a different vibe, you know what I mean? So it's weird that, like,
it is.
You know, but you know, you always hope, you know, like me, and I follow the Lost writers and see what shows they go to, and sometimes you can feel their influence in other places. So hopefully, like, I don't know, hopefully with this, you know, they're all talented people. You just hope the tone doesn't change too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last thing that I'd want to see is that their focus is on, we have to do another thing like The Last of Us. We have to do something like is emotionally compelling, blah, blah, blah. You don't necessarily have to do that. The great thing about Uncharted is that there were serious moments, but then there were some really funny moments, great little jokes here and there. You know, you don't have to be completely serious all the time to play a good game with a good story.
Right.
Yeah, and the story flowed well too.
Yeah.
That was the thing, is that it had a good mix that kept you interested the whole time. And
oh yeah,
Gabe, was that the game that you played in one sitting, or was it Uncharted 3?
No, you did 3 in one sitting on the bus.
I think it was 3 in one sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like to talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that and the first freaking, and I'm going to emasculate myself here, but that and the first Hunger Games book. I read the first Hunger Games book in a day.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
No, there's nothing wrong
I know,
with
but
that,
it's
man.
freaking a youth, like, child book.
Dude. Okay.
It's not Twilight, man.
Hey, let me.
Oh gosh.
Whoa. Confession here. I'm going to be real. My man card's going to be revoked. I read all 4 of the Twilight books.
No way.
And they were good.
No, they weren't good.
They were good.
No, you just read them as you talked to your wife about it, and your memory is that it's good. It's not good.
No. Because here's the thing: like, I didn't see any of the Twilight movies before reading them.
Right.
No. I'm sorry. I saw Twilight, but then I read the other books, and those books were great. And I'm over that series anyway. Like, I think the movies are blah. But
I didn't see the
but
movies.
the books were good. I gotta say they were a good read.
Oh man,
I did binge read those.
It's funny. My wife read Twilight, and then she read like the first 2 books, and then she read the first book of Hunger Games, and she was like, "Oh, that's how books are supposed to be written."
There you go.
That's what she said. Because she said the dialogue is so much better in Hunger Games than it was in.
Yeah. And Lauren's read all 3 of those too, and she loved them. So that's probably what I'll.
You need to pick
next.
it up. It's good.
Yep.
Tim, when you were talking about Twilight, I was just imagining you like standing out in the woods, like with your spots showing. Instead of sparkling,
exactly.
You've got spots.
Oh gosh.
It's like, what am I? Say it.
Oh my gosh. That is really funny.
I'm spotty. That's so funny.
That's crazy.
Oh, fun. Good times.
So you guys obviously, another big news thing that hit this week was freaking Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, yes.
That looked like a full-on feature movie. Those graphics looked so stinking good.
That thing, boy.
I know.
Please
be
stupid.
good. Thank you, Rocksteady, for bringing it back.
Thank you for blowing us away, man. Look at like the intricate detail and everything.
Sick. That was a beautiful trailer.
If you haven't seen that trailer, go see it. It's called Batman Arkham Knight, Father to Son. And it's this letter. It starts out with this letter that Bruce Wayne's dad has written him. And it's really cool.
Yeah, it's the last will and testament of whatever his name was.
Thomas?
His dad.
Was it Thomas?
I think so.
So
that looks amazing.
We don't have too much information yet, but like, except for the fact that it's going to be awesome.
It said coming this year too.
Coming this year worldwide, baby.
So that's where all the hype was. So Warner Brothers Montreal does Oranges. And during that time, Rocksteady's like, well, we're just going to do this game on the side, and boom. And it's coming out this year. That's insane.
Yeah, man.
It's Can't 5 times larger than Arkham City.
It's got to be.
That's the rumor.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I watch this trailer too, like this trailer, like in the back of my mind the whole time I'm thinking of when developers say like, games cost a lot more than they used to because of all the intricate stuff that we have to do. Like this is more than proof.
I mean, shoot, the rendering of that trailer alone probably cost
it would have taken forever.
Gazillion dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that looks really good. I kind of bailed on Oranges, and I'm going to just keep saying Oranges because it's fun. Just because I don't know, I wasn't into it. But man, I think Arkham City is still my favorite. But this one, my radar is up on this one, that's for sure. Yeah,
and Kevin Conroy, who did Arkham City, and I think did he do Arkham Asylum? I don't remember, but he did Arkham City for sure. He's back for this one playing Batman. So
I think Kevin Conroy was the Batman in the animated series, right?
Oh yeah, was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
That's so cool.
And to tie this to Uncharted, Nolan North will be voicing the Penguin.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, seriously.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
He's really good at doing those kind of character-y voices. Like he does, he did some voices for Portal as well.
Mm.
And I saw an interview with him one time, and he said that sometimes he'll do ADR for Christopher Walken. And he did like a little impression of him, and he sounded just like him.
Wow. Oh, I bet he did.
Those
guys are talented, boy.
Yep.
That's great. Anyway,
He's like
awesome.
Tim with Boo Boo Bear.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Do you think it's safe, Yogi?
Sweet.
Oh, that's good.
Hall, give us something else.
I talk about OnLive a lot.
There it is.
And
I thought this would be your lead story. I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't believe it still exists. That's a crazy thing. But not only does it exist, they have a new service called CloudLift.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about OnLive is that you would pay for titles, and then they would be authorized through OnLive service. So you would own them only on OnLive. You couldn't play them locally
through their storefront.
You didn't really own the game in a sense, like people feel like they do with Steam. Yeah, like people feel like they own the games with Steam. Well, CloudLift is a way to stream those games that you own.
Yeah, so what you OnLive has
it's kind of a
with
competitor
Steam.
to Steam's thing. So
yeah,
go ahead, Gabe.
Sorry. No, I was just saying OnLive has partnered with Steam to create CloudLift.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So, well, they're kind of like, even though they're partnering with Steam, aren't they kind of competing with Steam because Steam has its own?
No, because you still buy it through Steam. You buy these through Steam now.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I'm saying, like, doesn't Steam have their own streaming thing too now?
Oh, I didn't see that.
You can stream to. You're supposed to be able to stream your games to Steam machines, but CloudLift apparently is kind of heading towards tablets and mobile devices. Or they're trying to anyway.
Wow. I did see
basically
that
it's a really good idea, and I'd like to see this.
Smart TVs and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see this expand. So it seems like a really cool idea because you can still play the games locally, which is what people want.
Exactly.
And then you can stream them if you want to.
Well, or if you're like me, and let's say this thing goes crazy, and you want to play Titanfall, but your PC can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying if this thing gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and something like that.
If it gets big enough to the point where they have server farms, because the idea with CloudLift is that it's games that you own, I think, that you play on your PC, but they're streaming to your device.
Oh, is that what it is? It's streaming from your PC to whatever else?
If it works like Steam service does, that's what it's going to be doing. But if it's just that you own the game and it's streaming from their server, then that would be an amazing way to purchase PC games, because I don't keep my system specs up to date enough to play current PC games. Right.
And let me just make a correction. I know Titanfall's not Steam, just so people don't get upset. Like,
well, that's the thing. They partner with Origin too.
Oh, okay, good.
So basically any service is going to be able to use this service.
Sweet. And it's $15 a month. So I don't know if that's going to give us kind of a gauge of what the whole PlayStation thing could end up being.
That could be.
PS Now. And then, but they also have a back catalog of about 250 titles that you can play that you wouldn't have had to purchase previously. And that'll be $9.99, and I'm not sure if that's an add-on or a standalone thing, but and then they have a thing called OnLive Go that they're doing that's catered towards MMOs, but I don't think they've got that thing dialed in yet. It seems a little expensive where you can play these MMO games without having to download them, because it's these huge things. But some of the games are clocking in around $3 an hour or something like that. And so it's a little steep for how much hours you put into MMOs,
Huh.
Needs to be like 50 cents.
This would be a really cool thing if you could stream like any PC game that you have to your tablet, for instance.
Yeah. But you can kind of do that through remote desktops, can't you?
So what's that?
You can kind of do that through remote desktops already.
Yeah, but
I've done that. So this must be more different. This must be different for them to be charging $15. I don't think it's just streaming from your own PC, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure,
because I know that I have I've had a bunch of VNC client setup things in the past, and I've to see if I would stream Warcraft 3 back when I used to play a bunch of Warcraft, and I would stream it to my laptop from out on the road and stuff like that. So I don't know. We will see.
Yep. It's just that OnLive still exists.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Something. So, I mean, like I said, this is neat for if you own games on multiple platforms, which you kind of have to because some things only come out on Origin.
Right.
So, there you go.
Another big thing for me that I saw, Nintendo, and I don't know why I think this is such a huge mistake, but they're shutting down their Wi-Fi services for the DS, the DSi, and the Wii. And I hate this. And as of May 20th, so you have a couple more months, but I mean, this is going to shut it down. Like leaderboards, matchmaking, and all online play will be gone.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
They don't want you to play Mario Kart on Wii.
No, that can't be why.
There's no way.
Dude, they got to sell the new one.
I know they do, but people that played Mario Kart are going to buy the new one, right?
I don't know about that.
I know. Me neither.
Like, people are probably pretty happy with it.
So this is what's lame, though. The Wii Shop channel and the DSi shop will still work. So you can still like download stuff from them and buy stuff, but you won't be able to online play with anybody. And part of the reason is with the 3DS and the Wii U, when they started those up, especially the 3DS, they went in-house with their servers where all the previous stuff was through GameSpy Technologies. So I don't know if like a contract ended with them and they don't feel like re-upping it or,
that could be.
Or what, but we know that they've moved in-house with their servers now. So I just thought that was kind of lame. I was hating.
Well, wait,
I hate that.
Do you think they're shutting them down temporarily so that when they build
they said it's a worldwide termination of the Wi-Fi services.
Wow.
So I mean, all these people that play like Animal Crossing and Dr. Mario, like my wife, or Mario Kart, like you guys are saying. I mean, there's a huge list of games when you think of the DS and the Wii that use Wi-Fi that won't be available anymore in that capacity.
Wow.
I just think that's a little lame to me.
Well, they want you to get a Wii U.
Yeah, I think they're basically forcing your hand.
I just hate that.
Getting a Wii
and
U.
I have a Wii U and everything.
I mean, like
I did too.
Well, think about like if you had a bunch of like people that were just happy with the 360, and then Microsoft was like, yeah, we got to shut this down.
I would just think the backlash would be crazy.
Oh, if it was a 360, they would, because games are still coming out for the 360.
That's the thing is, I don't know if it'd be crazy for like the mainstream casual guy that just goes to the store and is like, I need an Xbox One now.
That's true.
You got anything else, Hall?
I got one more thing that I thought was really cool. Broderbund Software has donated company records, design documents, and games for permanent archival at the Strong Museum in New York.
Oh, cool.
I thought this was pretty cool because they made a lot of those games that probably you and I, Gabe, grew up with. Lode Runner, Prince of Persia, Myst, SimCity.
Wow. So, I loved Lode Runner.
Yeah, I think they were mainly the publisher for these games. But I just thought it was neat because I mean Broderbund, that was a common name just growing up and playing PC games.
That's awesome. I love that. Another quick thing, Fez coming to the PS4, PS3, and Vita on March 25th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is real crazy. So that'll be fun. Us Sony guys that never had a 360 will be able to play some Fez.
Gabe, you need to play games that are less than 2 years old.
I know.
Touche.
But it's just getting here.
I know.
And it'll be cross-save, cross-purchase. So if you buy it on one of those, you have them for all three. Oh, cool. Which is kind of nice. And then I wanted to talk about real fast before we move on, games with gold. Speaking of old games, we'll be giving away Civilization Revolution on the 360 between March 1st and March 15th. That game came out in 2008, I think.
Oh, wow.
And then Dungeon Defenders between March 16th and March 31st. A little bit newer. That came out in 2011. So that's good. Games with gold. getting with it, giving away some free games. And I don't mean to do these back to back to make it sound condescending to Games with Gold, but I just thought I'd do these at the same time and give people the PS Plus for March. Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition for the PS4. Like Router was talking about earlier, it's a brand new game. Tomb Raider for the PS3. Thomas Was Alone for the PS3 and Vita. Lone Survivor Director's Cut for the PS3 and Vita. Unit 13 for the Vita. And Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
Wow.
For the Vita.
PSP.
For the Vita.
PS Vita.
Is that a PS? Is that a, yeah.
It might be a PSP game.
Was it?
It's
Yeah, I'm
Vita,
pretty
it's
sure.
Vita 2 now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
know, but
it's
they just poured 'em
PSP,
up.
but it works on Vita, I'm sure.
I've always wanted to play a Monster Hunter game.
Go for it. You can.
Now's
you now
your
can.
chance.
Now's your chance.
Now I can, and it's going to look awful. It's like when I downloaded Worms. Remember when I was excited about Worms a couple weeks ago? I didn't know that was originally a PSP game, and I downloaded it, and I was like, oh, wah, 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 wah. Ooh, I got to use that joke the other day. We thought we saw Bob Barker in an airplane. It wasn't him. It just ended up being another old white guy, but he looked exactly like Bob Barker. And says the brown guy. And it was funny because one of everybody was like, oh my gosh, what would you say if you could say something to him? And I was like, I think I'd just walk over and go, wah, 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 wah. And the whole table laughed. And I felt like I told a good joke. And there was a little Married to the Games humor. And they were
everybody
like,
wanted to hang out with Gabe the rest of the day.
exactly. They were like, you're so stupid. I said, or I would say, scoop, scoop.
There you go. Nice.
Oh, 20 cents.
Hey, boys,
what was the music that they played when the hiker was like going up the mountain?
Oh, this so
many
exactly how it goes.
Oh, good times, good times. Hey, boys, we haven't talked about movies in a while.
Uh-oh.
What movies are you interested in coming up?
Spider-Man?
I have a feeling that the Peabody and Sherman movie is going to be bad
Oh, yeah, probably.
because
I have
it
a
kept
feeling-
getting delayed.
I have a feeling that the Muppets isn't going to be that good either. And
Nope.
I love the Muppets, but it didn't really appeal to me for some reason.
I think Spider-Man and is there another big one coming out this year?
Godzilla's coming out.
Oh, really?
That trailer looked pretty stinking good, I got to say.
Man, Cloverfield
Yeah.
pretty much scratched that itch for me.
Yeah, man, Cloverfield is so good.
That was a good one. I liked that one.
That is such a good movie.
If you guys do see Spider-Man 2, go see it in Atmos if you can. Unfortunately, Nashville doesn't have an Atmos theater yet, but I'm sure a lot of our listeners are kind of near
I've never
Atmos
even heard of that.
theaters.
What is that?
Dolby Atmos is that technology where they have 64 speakers in the room.
Oh,
so like
my
the sound
God.
goes everywhere.
Lord.
Yeah.
Do you need like earplugs when you go in there?
Exactly.
No,
My
it's
kidneys
just-
are like, please,
It's basically
no.
it's 3D sound.
That's pretty cool.
So like instead of 3D picture, it's just, the sound is kind of flying behind you. And the thing about it is like they've always had speakers in theaters, all the way around you. But with an Atmos mix, it kind of can fly anywhere in the room.
oh,
So,
wow. That's
Sweet.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I got to say that new Transformers trailer looked pretty good, pretty cool.
That one will probably be an Atmos too. So
It did look pretty cool. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, that's pretty cool. I'll take that.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Before we get into some questions, we asked you guys a question last week, and it was, who are some of your top favorite video game characters, like main characters? We got a lot of answers, so I'm not going to be able to read a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to go to our forum because I think I forgot to put it out on Twitter and start on the second page because I always start on the first page and I feel like it's the same people over and over again. We got, from the Portal games. Is it GLaDOS? GLaDOS?
yeah.
Yeah.
It is a pretty cool character.
That's from KC Hawk Booker, he said, and John Marston. Red Dead Redemption. Is it Marston?
Mm-hmm. John Marston was a pretty popular choice.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that. Let's see. Dat Ninja Dev says Nathan Drake, Ezio. You say his last name, Tim.
Ezio Auditore.
There you go. And Sephiroth. Throwback. Final Fantasy, love it. Mike Fowler says Hero, Persona 4 Golden. I want to play that so bad. Booker DeWitt, obviously, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I love those. I think I'm going to buy, if they ever did anything with Kingdom Hearts on the Vita, I would buy it. No questions asked.
Did they not release the HD collection on Vita?
No.
Okay.
I felt like that was a huge mistake.
Gabe, I've heard from so many people that you have to play Persona 4 Golden for the Vita.
Really?
Yes.
I really have heard that from everybody.
I've heard that from everybody that, like, what's the most popular Vita game? And they all say Persona 4.
Okay. Well, I'm getting
you have to pick that up.
Spider Jedi said Cloud, Final Fantasy 7, Revan, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and Solid Snake. Mark Gregory said Commander Shepard, Mass Effect. Adam Jensen, Deus Ex, and is it Raven? Raven? Is it still said Raven, even though it's spelled Revan? Anybody know? Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm not sure.
Raven.
Nick Cooper, John Marston. Why does that sound so much like a band name?
The John Marstons?
Yeah. Morrigan, Morrigan from Dragon Age Origins, and Laura Croft. I like this answer. Matt Leidy, my boy, went and hung out with him up in the Tri-Cities. Nathan Drake, Master Chief, and Pitfall Harry from the Atari 2600.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I love that. Okay, last one I'll read. Hood Foo on our forums says top 3 good guys, Cloud, Mega Man, Link. Top 3 bad guys, GLaDOS, Creepers, Sephiroth.
Sweet.
Boom. If you guys want to join in with the conversation, come to marriedtothegames.com/forums. We're having forum, singular, forum. We're having a good time over there. It's awesome. We've got an ongoing story where you like add 5 words and it just keeps going and it's getting pretty nuts. That thing's crazy. If you want to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/MTTGcast, facebook.com/marriedtothegames. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We have an RSS feed if you like using your own pod snatcher. Yeah, we're on
we're available
Xbox
wherever
Music.
Podcasts are sold.
Yeah, we're kid tested and mother approved. And we appreciate you guys listening. Let's get into some questions.
Email from Mr. Donnie Reese. He says, "Afternoon, gentlemen. Do you
this is
ever
gonna be deep?
Yeah, it's good. Do you ever use guides to complete games, and do you feel using a walkthrough or guide adds to or takes away from the experience? As a father of 2 with 2 jobs, my gaming time is less and less each week. I've fallen into the habit of using guides to help streamline some games. Wind Waker HD mostly, but Skyrim and The Last of Us too. There was a point in my life where I had all day to walk around each world to discover what I could.
Right.
But with what time I have available these days, sometimes I just want to experience the core game and don't have the time, patience, or will to suffer through the trial and error to discover the answer to the puzzle or advancing the story. Life is exhausting most days. Sometimes I don't want my games to add more stress. Many thank yous."
That's an interesting last line there. Say that one more time.
Life is exhausting most days. Sometimes I don't want my games to add more stress.
Huh, that's interesting.
Couldn't agree more, actually.
Yeah, I get that.
I think,
yeah, I get that too.
We all get that. But dude, father of 2 jobs, you're putting it down, man, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't use guides. I like to enjoy the games, and if it means I do 1 hour of just looking around, I'm happy with that. And your games shouldn't stress you out. They're supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be your downtime. So, I wouldn't I wouldn't stress about trying to complete a game. Take your time with it. It took me a month and a half to do Assassin's Creed 4, and I enjoyed in one session that I had was an hour long, and it was just riding around in my boat and and getting all the collector stuff. If you enjoy the game, I wouldn't use a guide. Just enjoy it, and whatever time you have to spend, just take the time. Like, the games aren't going away. You don't have to rush to get through the ending, especially in a game like The Last of Us, or especially Skyrim. Like Skyrim, you can spend one session just on a side mission, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy the game, just take the time to enjoy it. Unless you just have a pile of games that you're trying to get through.
Yeah, just trying to blast through them.
And that can be stressful because you want to blast through, because you want to play them and you want to enjoy them. But don't forget to stop and enjoy the game that you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Hall, what about you, buddy?
I understand what he means by the stress part, because
I do too.
When I kind of sit down and play a game, I want to feel like I accomplished something in the 2 hours or however long I get to play.
Exactly.
So I understand from that aspect why you would want to use a guide, because you don't really want to have to pixel hunt or look around for stuff.
Yeah. I
mean, I used to do that when I was a kid and I had all the time in the world, but I really don't do that much anymore. And most games that are very open world, I mainline them so I can kind of get through them and move on to the next one. And it's not that I don't enjoy them. I just want to feel like I've accomplished something in the time that I play.
Great point. It's a really good point.
And I don't use guides, but what I do is if I get to a point where I know it's going to take me a minute to figure it out, I just look it up.
That's what I did too.
So
nice. I've never used a guide before.
Bragger.
No, and I've not finished a lot of games, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I love where he's coming from and the reason he's using them. But yeah, I've never used it. But I'm like Hall too, with how the internet is now. If I get stuck, now I probably stay stuck longer than most people before looking it up. But if I get stuck, I'll definitely look something up, and I don't feel like that's cheating, because I remember there was a time while I was playing Ico that a cliff was in a weird place, and I kept jumping up right there, and he wouldn't grab onto it and jump up, and I was like, what in the heck is going on with this thing? And I ended up having to look it up, and it was there. I just needed to keep trying. So every now and then I'll get stuck, and you just look it up. But yeah, no hating on the guides. I just haven't.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that they're certainly helpful if you get stuck in certain areas. But
well, I was going to say guides are cool too, because it really kind of you want to beat the game. You want to get through the story and get through the experience, and a guide can help you get it done faster if you have a crazy schedule and you don't want to be playing a game for a half a year.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I used a guide on to get the gold chocobo in Final Fantasy VII, because I feel like that would have been impossible to figure out on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. For some of those puzzles and just some of the accomplishments that you want, you almost have to, because you're never going to find it on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, and he could very easily spend half a year on Skyrim alone, for crying out loud, because it's such a ginormous game. But I mean, you do what you need to do, but don't forget to enjoy the game that you're on, and don't stress over it. But I'm with you, Hall, on that. Like, you do want to feel a sense of accomplishment, like you are advancing as you play.
Yeah.
So here's a question.
Oh,
those like really in-depth things, like the gold chocobo, for instance, do those get out because the developer lets those out, or do those get out because somebody actually figures it out?
They've got to get out because the developer, but
it has to be.
You got to look at things like the Rubik's Cube too. Like, people have figured out the Rubik's Cube, and probably somebody didn't have to tell somebody how to do that, and they were like, hey, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
that's true.
But the golden chocobo thing, man, was really in depth, and like, you had to get certain ones from certain places. Somebody had to have leaked that one out.
Maybe it's not all that crazy though, because I don't know if you guys have ever seen the game trailer series called Pop Fiction. They go through and they show off these glitches that people have found in games, and they are the most ridiculous, how the heck did you figure it out things.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
So
for the pixel hunters out there.
Yeah, people will figure out anything.
That's true. Good question, Donnie.
That was great, Donnie. Thank you. Moving on to Facebook. Forrest W. Wargum. I have played AC2, AC Liberation, and currently AC4. Can someone explain to me why we play the game through the Animus? I do not get this. Playing in Renaissance, this is awesome. Playing in Renaissance Europe was great. Playing in Louisiana in the mid 1700s, great. Playing as a pirate is awesome. But for the love of God, why is this game set up this way? That is great.
That's funny.
Forrest, I have no idea either. I hate the whole Animus thing anyway. I've never really enjoyed that part of it. I just wanted to get into the time period of what the Assassin's Creed game was and just run around. So I think they're slowly pulling away from that more and more, especially with the fact that AC4 doesn't have as much in-depth into it. But that's just the way they've set it up, and I think that they stayed with it so long because the series has been that way for so long. So why change it now?
Yeah, I don't think they could.
I think it was a broken idea. I think what happened was when they were doing the first Assassin's Creed, they were like, yo, you'll be this guy. And to make it realistic, we'll have you lay down in this thing and you'll be the memories of the such and such.
Right.
And then as they were building the game, they were like, wait a second. So when you're outside the Animus, you're just in a room. And the people were like, dude. People were like, yes. They were like,
exactly.
Well, that's lame because they put so much work into the world and the parkour and everything. And, you get back to poor Desmond and he's like, so I'm still laying here in this thing. All my muscles have atrophied now because you won't let me out of this machine.
Could I have a glass of water, please?
Yeah, exactly.
They come back and he's just a fat dude.
Yeah,
exactly.
Crap.
Yeah, I liked what they did with AC4 though, because they were collecting kind of memories for a new trailer.
Thing, yeah.
And I dug that. I thought that was a lot better. But I never delved too deep into the whole Animus stuff. I wanted to get right back into the time period where I was at.
I think probably sitting around, like after talking to Jason Stansel about Infamous and how ideas are kind of thrown around and ideas are implemented, I can imagine that like early on, the Animus was supposed to be something more than what it ended up being.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems lie because it kind of stopped being what they wanted it to be. And so they were like, oh, okay, well, it'll just be a thing on the side. So
Agreed.
That's what I'm guessing. Good question.
Great. Yep. Good question. Sticking with Facebook, Mark Boucher, given that we have another awesome looking Arkham game coming out, what other superhero would you like to see turned into a franchise similar to the Arkham games?
Ooh.
Wolverine could be cool.
Wolverine had a game, but it was kind of...
You said it was terrible, didn't you?
No, it was kind of like a God of War game, pretty much.
When was that?
I
don't remember that.
It was like maybe 2008.
Oh, wow.
It was whenever the last movie came out. Not the last, like what was that called? X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever that movie came out, that game came out. So,
man, that's a good question.
Wolverine could be cool.
He could be cool for a reboot like that, something like that.
I think Spider-Man kind of needs its new. Like I know that they made the Amazing Spider-Man game, and people did like it, but I think they kind of need a new twist on a grittier Spider-Man game. What's that?
A grittier one?
Maybe, yeah, like a more realistic.
I've never loved a Superman game. I wish.
Which one? The one for Nintendo 64?
Any of those.
I don't think anybody liked that.
But what I'm saying is, like, I wonder if they could do a dope Superman game. I don't know.
I'd love like a non like a more secondary superhero. You know what I mean? Like not like the usual like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, but like somebody.
Human Torch.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
As long as they can make it a fun game.
Yeah.
Aquaman had a game. It was terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's Aquaman.
Aquaman had a life. It was terrible.
Aquaman is.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have to think about that.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's move on to Twitter. Nicholas Lowe at Zero Viper. What is your favorite game time snack? Also, y'all never pick my questions, but I love y'all anyways. Well, there you go. Nicholas, there you have it.
Well, moving on.
Guess what? We're answering you're answering your question.
Could you imagine if we didn't answer it?
I know that'd be hilarious, but just know, like, we don't get everybody's questions. I'm the one that picks through them. I'm kind of the filter because there's a lot of some questions have been answered multiple times before, but I definitely look for new people who are contributing to the questions. Like, I'm not trying to diss anybody, but it's just for time constraints and just the fact that we may have answered it before. So don't feel bad. I'm just glad we got you on here now.
There we go.
But favorite game time snack?
Fritos.
Okay, Fritos.
I love Fritos.
I'm thinking more like chocolatey stuff, like M&Ms or something like that you can just pop in and keep going.
That's true because those are cleaner. With Doritos, you got to kind of have like a rag.
I do not want to have like sticky fingers or Cheetos or anything like that while I'm gaming. So
Rice
something
cakes.
that I can exactly. So yeah, I think for me it'd probably be like M&Ms or
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's. Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces. That'd be good.
Hall, what did you say yours was?
I said Doritos, but
those
you got to
messy.
have a rag.
Yeah,
you do.
Same thing with Fritos. Fritos are a little oily. Yeah,
buttered popcorn, please.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be slipping right off your controller.
Oh, God,
Good question.
Stephen Blair at Tipine 1993. Do you play games more or less when you are at home sick? I would like to. I'd love to have a sick day where I can just play games all day. Be like,
I haven't been homesick in
I haven't been homesick in forever.
Probably since high school, maybe.
Yeah, I don't get sick
over
days
10 years
anymore.
ago.
Yeah,
and technically on Monday we had a snow day too. Like we didn't go out here in Nashville because it had snowed an inch maybe, and the whole town shut down. But I didn't get to play at all because it was a Monday. I still had to work.
There's been a couple times where like Jenny and them have gone to do something I didn't feel well, and so they left me behind. And heck yeah, I got my game on. You crazy?
I was going to say, whether you felt well or not, you're like, babe, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, I feel well enough to lay down and move my thumbs.
That's right.
I'm never too sick for that.
Who could be?
Hey, Gabe, when you had sick days from school when you were a kid, did you play games too?
Heck, what? Of course. I was playing freaking Counter-Strike with people across the world who were out of school already.
That's the thing is that if I stayed home sick, my mom was like, don't play video games because, if you're too sick to go to school.
You're like, that makes 0 sense.
That makes zero sense.
Exactly. And then I beat Metal Gear Solid.
There you go. That's awesome.
Siphon filter, here I come.
That's right. Good question. Moving on, Jeremy at Jerrer45. Has your gaming ever caused issues in your marriage or relationship, and how did you get past it?
Oof.
No, it really doesn't, because I want to make sure that I game at a time that doesn't interfere with any type of family time, and that's why I do it so early in the morning. The only time is that there was one point I had my Pulse Elites on and I didn't hear her screaming. So Lauren went and got her and she was like, babe, did you not hear that? And I'm like, oh, no. And,
yeah, Father of the Year, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. That was it, though. But I have the monitor now, and I have a Pulse Elites, and I keep one ear up a little bit so I can just still hear something in case something happens. But no, I've never had anything serious like that. It's always just, if it's anything, it's been one of those things where sleep has been interrupted because I game usually early in the morning.
Yeah, I don't think anything with a relationship recently. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, probably, but
sure,
not lately. My wife is she deserves too much more than that, so I have to step it up when I'm home.
Yep, no problems here.
Yeah, so. And I will say, if it does become an issue, definitely just use the willpower, step away from your gaming and focus on it. And just, take more time and just try and come up with a compromise, and just be, if you need to get up earlier to do it because you want to do it so bad, then do it then, or something like that. But definitely you have to address that because that can be a very slippery slope.
It's a maturity thing.
It really is.
If you know how to manage your time, fine, you can play. So
yeah,
you can play without disrupting anything.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. At Tattoo Travis Prospicel, you can have one weapon. If you can have one weapon for any video game, what do you choose and who do you try it out on? Ooh, that's a good one. What was my weapon? Oh,
I think I'd want the portal gun.
Yeah, it could be cool.
I think that'd be really freaking fun.
And I would probably use that on myself just to jump around.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be for me, Jack.
I'd put the blue one here and then the orange one at work.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
It's not necessarily a weapon, though.
It could be.
Yeah.
Music is a weapon.
Yeah. Ooh.
Listen to this guy.
Revolution X.
There it is.
Again.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that. That's a great idea.
So
we would go with the portal 2-gun, and we'd do it on ourselves.
I wouldn't mind having a Batman's situation going on, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of
utility belt.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
belt.
He's got a lot
How
of stuff.
How does this thing work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you're in an airplane. You're like, oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Remind me not to press that one again.
That's right. At AntMatt32, what's the hardest game you've ever played?
Ooh.
I keep saying this. My most frustrating one so far, and I don't know why, was Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just one of those. I had a hard time with it. I almost want to go back and just try it again, because 3 and 1 I went through, but I think it's because I started with 2. So Dead Space 2 is one of my harder ones, and it really shouldn't be, because I mean, you should have everything ready to go.
You know, it's funny. My hardest one recently is actually a throwback. I've talked about this before. When I went back and tried to play Sonic, with how fast that thing is, and like not having the maps memorized anymore, I was like, what the heck? Am I dying? Seriously? I'm dying? Seriously? I'm dead?
You started playing it like a Mario game?
Yeah, I was like, oh, you know, anyway, you know how you just dive back into stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I used to do this. I'll just dive back into it. Let's full speed, baby. No, that was difficult.
That never works well.
That never works well.
Go back and play Ninja Gaiden now.
Oh, gosh.
That's probably the hardest game I've ever played.
Nice.
Ninja Gaiden.
The hardest game I've ever beaten, and I know I beat it when I was a kid, and now I suck. So.
That are like those like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games and stuff like that.
Oh, I know.
Those all can be brutal, man. Jeez Louise.
The first one.
Yeah, hard.
Yep.
That's my answer.
All right, how much time we got left? Let's see. All right, we got time for 2 more. At Drew Freeman 85, would you consider doing live shows via Twitch or Google Hangouts, call-ins, YouTube? I would love to do live shows.
Would anybody want to see that?
I don't know. Do they want to see our mugs up on the video screen? I don't know.
You guys let us know. If you guys want to see it, we could try it.
Yeah. If we all had the time. I mean, if you're not...
We're all going to look pretty terrible because it's 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be all bedhead with my slippers on. Like,
spots.
What do you want?
Slippers on.
All right, we got a caller coming in.
Tim, you got to wear a low-cut shirt so you can be showing off spots.
Oh, yeah, I should. I should really take a picture of this. I don't want to gross anybody out, but I should probably just...
I want to see it.
You're going to freak your...
You did your arm.
Yeah, I did the arm, but my body is just gross. It really is, man. It's just, I'll take a picture of it. How's that?
That's awesome. Please.
We got to have some sort of record of it.
It's like Spider-Man, except you didn't get bit by a spider. You probably got bit by some pollen or something.
Yeah.
Bit by pollen.
Bit by a birch tree. Yes, we would love to do a live show. I think it would be fun.
Nobody would call though because it's 6:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to do a lot of the same thing, and right now you're just going to have to get used to the sweet, soothing sounds of our voice.
Well, maybe we could do episode 100 as a call-in show.
We need to do that as a live show.
Yeah. Live show, call-ins.
Yeah, everything. I think that would be amazing.
Because nobody's 100th show is like a show.
Yeah,
it's just
always
basically like hey, we're a podcast and we've done a lot of crap, so let's talk about it.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Go back and what's your favorite episode or what's your favorite moment, blah, blah, blah. That stuff would be fun. And that needs to be live. That needs to be in the middle of the day somewhere so people can come down and we just all hang out.
I think episode 80, how about we do this? Episode 80, the question of the week will be, what should we do for our 100th episode? Yeah. And we'll start taking suggestions and trying to put it together.
Let's do that. Final question, Matthew Shepard at ShepDog921. What's your favorite couch co-op game? Mine would be Super Mario Brothers for the Wii. Lots of laughs jumping on each other's heads.
Co-op. I haven't done a co-op game in a long time. I've done plenty of versus.
Is Mario Kart considered a co-op? Or
no, that'd be versus.
Versus, okay.
Halo's always fun, like when you're playing like 4-player.
No, but that's versus too. But like if you're going through the story.
Oh, going through the story together. Oh, co-op.
Yeah. Halo was
honestly,
really
Donkey
fun.
Kong Country for the Super Nintendo is mine and Krista's favorite.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I guess Double Dash could have been considered co-op. Mario Kart. I never had it, but
yeah, that's true. We did play through that too.
I know you guys played that one.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, it got so hard at the end. We were like jumping up and down, like, oh.
I haven't done a co-op game in forever with somebody. I've only done versus games.
I don't really think I have done one at all.
I think Halo might have been one of my last ones. I mean, oh gosh. You know what? I played, actually, you know what? The most recent one, Zombies in Black Ops. I think it's Black Ops. I played Zombies, I mean, so much. And then I took it on the road and got one of our guys, DJ Madge, into playing Zombies on the Xbox 360. And we would play Zombies, I mean, just over and over. And then our driver actually liked playing it. So he would come back to the bus early so we could play, and he would stay late so we could play in the morning. And we would play Zombies. So I'd say Zombies from Call of Duty.
Zombies on World at War was really freaking fun.
Really?
Yeah, the map was a lot smaller. So it was like, it was a little easier to maintain, I think. Like the default map is, to me, the most fun for World at War. So
sweet. I like it. Is that it, Router?
That's it. That's a wrap. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your questions.
Yeah, man. We have a question for you guys, and I didn't know that was going to be our last question, but this kind of goes into our question for you guys. Who are you playing with? Somebody asked us if our kids ever help us beat a game, and obviously me and Router's kids are too little to actually help. They help by taking a nap so I can play games.
That's exactly right.
But that's as much helping as they do. So who are you guys playing with? Do you guys play with your brothers, your sisters, your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends? Do you play with? We've heard stories of people bonding with their parents over, multiplayer over, on the internet and playing like that. So who are you guys playing with out there? We would love to hear from you. You guys know I do multiplayer on Call of Duty sometimes, but I don't really play with anybody here. Router, you don't really play with anybody. And then Hall, you play with Krista.
Yep.
But then you play with your brothers-in-law. Is that what it was?
Sometimes we have family come over and we'll play something.
Yeah. And Router, you play with your nephew sometimes?
Yes.
So everybody's got somebody. My wife and me obviously hit up that Mario Kart and Dr. Mario all the time. And we will be continuing that tradition with Mario Kart 8 and cannot wait. So let us know. Use hashtag AnswerMTTG. And of course, the question will always be posted on the forum. So we'd love to hear from you. Is that it, you guys? You guys ready to get up out of here?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm Gabe Patillo. That's Tim Router. That is Timothy Hall. And I'm finally home, baby. And we married to the games and I'm out this thing. Peace!